Okay, we're holding page Ches in the Mesil Shem Perek Aleph, third paragraph. He says, what is the objective of creation? The objective of creation is to ultimately be able to benefit from the radiance of the Shekhinah, which is the ultimate level of pleasure and accomplishment, which we don't know what that means. Right? The Navi says, Ayin lo rosaki elakim zulasecha. The only one who knows what that is God. Unless you're there, you're there. You're there, you know what it is. But as a human being, we have no idea what it is. We could talk about it, we could compare it to whatever it may be, but that's all based on what? Mesorah. Right? Many things is Mesorah. However, what is the path to be able to lagia, to arrive at the destination of our desire? Huzeh olam. It's the world itself. The world is what? This is the proving ground. The physical existence is the proving ground. You succeed here, and you achieve, then you have the ability to arrive, to reach the goal. And this is what Chazal tell us. This world is like a corridor before the world to come. And what are the mediums which allow us to pass through this corridor to arrive? Those are the mitzvos. That facilitates the movement and the level that we're able to benefit when we arrive in Olam Haba. And the location to actualize and fill mitzvahs is only in this world. Therefore, the human being is put in this world first as a physical being to be challenged with endless levels of challenges. Each person has his own tailored challenges in life. Through the mediums which present themselves here, you're able to arrive at the location that has been prepared for you. And it's interesting. There's Asher Hu Lo. Every person has his location. It's reserved. You have your reserved because ultimately everybody has a potential. So if you actually meet your potential, so the location, the relationship is waiting there. But what happens if you fall short of it? Then you're going to get a lot less than what you're capable of actually, what's awaiting you. Shu olam haba, lirvo shom batov.
So do we say this for both Jew and non-Jew alike?
No. For a non-Jew, it's a semblance of this, but that's not it.
He has his own mitzvot, the 7. And maybe some...
His olam haba is different olam haba. When we speak about to bask in the radiance of God and all that, the goy has no relevance to this. You know, the only one who goes into the inner sanctums are only the princes. If you're not a prince, you don't go in. No, they were terminated. At Sinai, that was the final termination of relationship. They were offered the Torah, they rejected it, because the only way you're able to make that link to the Shekhinah, to God, that's only if you accept this Torah. If you don't accept this Torah, all you do is it's a maintenance program. You'll achieve some level to be exposed to some level of spirituality, the Olam Haba, but in terms of the ultimate, he has no relevance to that.
So preceding all the great tzaddikim of the world, Noah, his sons, Shem, they all experienced this? You say?
Not simple. Not maybe, but maybe not. Let's talk about Avraham, the others HaKadoshim. They were B'nai Noach. They were Noahites. They were Yisrael. But factually, Avraham is referred to as Odom. Even though it was pre-Sinai, he already had the classification of Odom. He had the classification of Odom pre-Sinai. The others probably did not. So Merkava, definitely. I mean, in this existence, they had it. So definitely in the world to come, they have that relationship.
So they do. We say that they do.
No, right. Noach, I'm not sure. I mean,
Shem, Aver.
probably they probably do. Probably do. Of course, not on the level of the others. That not, but they do. But once it was already set, who are the princes? You have to meet that level. And if you don't meet that level, then you don't enter. I remember many years ago, there was, we were at Simchas Torah in Yeshiva. The story goes back many years ago. And there was Hakofos on Simchas Torah. So in between the Hakofos, there was tremendous amount of dust. So they had the janitors outside waiting, and they had dust mops, and they're treated that when they wipe the floors down, dust sticks to the mop. Had a piece of cloth on it. So they would come in quickly, and they would, with all their antics, they were all everyone. They weren't. They were blacks. These. So they went with all the body, the way they did it. They did a dance around the base measures, cleaning up, as if they would listen to some kind of music, and they cleaned up. And while everybody was dancing inside, they would look through the doors, because there were glass panes in the doors, and they would be dancing with the mops outside, to the rhythm of the singing inside the base measures. So my Mashgiach says, he says, "The zes visitats in the roisen." You see the word dancing outside. Those is their oilam haba. That's the same thing. The Jews were going to be in the inner sanctums. They, even if they achieve, they're on the outside. That's what he said at the time. Yes. That's something else. We're talking mokamasiyas mitzvah. We're not saying something can't advance the person right after he passed away, but to actually actualize the mitzvahs only in this world. I mean, you have to have choice.
And a Jew fails his obligation of mitzvahs in this world.
It's too late, unless you get a return trip, which is what we call a Gilgul. You're locked into that level for all eternity, forever.
A person might have a righteous descendant.
No.
That could help.
Could help. But nothing could help as much as the person himself doing for himself. We had it in the Gemara Kedusha mitzvah bol yosem ibshlucho. Right? It's a greater mitzvah. If you're able to do it yourself, to actualize yourself, you don't delegate it to a third party. So that's the ultimate level. Later he speaks about something interesting. Person says, and if I don't achieve the ultimate, so I may not be in the box seats, so I'll be in the whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, as long as I'm not in the bleachers, right? It's okay. So he gives an example. He says, if you have diamonds, and the diamonds are based the value besides the clarity, but its weight, a small fraction of a gram, whatever it may be, makes a difference what its value is. And that's the point he makes. If a person would only know the innate value and the value of that achievement, what it brings the person would never say, well, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with a pittance where you could have a king's ransom. It's because you think the pittance is the equivalent of that. But if a person would only be able to relate and fully process what that is, a person would not compromise on what he should be doing. To be continued.
God intentionally made it that way.
That's the challenge. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. You could appreciate it, but it takes a tremendous amount of work. You have to spiritualize yourself by doing mitzvahs.
So we'll never fully appreciate.
No, it's impossible. It's impossible. It's mission in Pirkei. You don't know the extent of the schar.